Dave here, how are you? The last episode I did of What's in Arthur's Toolbox was about his bench. Now there was a couple of things that I neglected to talk about. I need to show you around the bench a little bit more before we kick into this week. The bench has actually got mortises cut into the underside of it, and there are tenons on the tops of the legs. The tops of the legs are actually tenons to locate the bench top rather than bolt it down. There are pocket holes underneath that have been done with a brace and bit, so Arthur could screw the top down to the rails that support the bench. I guess it was totally so he could move this around from job to job and have his bench with him, or carpenters relied heavily on their bench. And also, if you have a look around underneath the bench, you'll see on every join there is marks. Now on this particular join there are 3 strokes. I've got other ones that have got a V and a single stroke, so every join was identified so it could be put together very easily. Connecting the rails to the legs, like either end of the bench, they're all mortise and tenon joins the rails into the legs. So you have 2 end panels, and then you'd have the 4 stretches or long rails, you could call them if you wanted to, that were bolted, and it was a matter of a hole drilled into the side of the leg, and the bolt slid through another hole that came through sideways, a washer and the nut, and the bolt tightened up on the outside, just captured with a spanner on the inside. Brilliant. As I say, these guys built the harbour bridge around this time, so they weren't dummies by any stretch of the imagination. These guys had truckloads of talent. It's just they didn't have the same technology as we've got. Now, what else have I got on it? Oh, I'll show you a little bit around the screw vices as well. This week I thought I would have a chat about some paperwork that I found in Arthur's Toolbox, and it's his union card and a pay rise that he received. And I'll read it out to you because it's fascinating. It's dated the 7th of January 1926. So Arthur would have only just turned 55 by a month or 2. And it's titled, I'll take a photo of it so you can have a look at it while I read it out, New South Wales Government Railways and Tramways, there you go, and Tramways, Locomotive Branch, and the date. Dear Sir, I have much pleasure in informing you that the Commissioners have approved of you being continued to be paid a merit increase of 8 pence per day, 8 pence per day, from the 1st of January 1926, and for such increase to be paid to you until the 31st of December next. Comma, provided, that's a big one, provided you maintain that satisfactory service which resulted in the increase being given, and which I might add, I have every confidence you will maintain. Yours faithfully, E. Lucy, per head of branch, and there's a squiggle there which is his signature, to Mr. Arthur J. Johnson. And you can see the typewriters back then weren't great either. Car builder, the letters are up and down all over the place. Per car and wagon superintendent, Everley. For those who don't live in Australia or may not know, Everley was a massive area around Redfern. It was a huge suburb all on its own, I think. And this is where all of the locomotive works were conducted, carriage building and so on. Brilliant. And that's where Arthur spent a lot of his time. Now these are Returned Soldiers and Sailors Supporters Provident Fund, Redfern. Number of shares, and it's not saying any there. Member A. Johnson, card number, whatever it is. The Secretary will not be answerable for any money unless entered on this card. Jos R. Pratt, Secretary. And there's a card here, and it's got all of his stuff, and I'll take a photo of this, you can have a look at it. And you can see he's been fined a couple of times. I don't know why, maybe he forgot to make a contribution now and then. And you've got all these stuff on the back here. Notice members being more than 4 weeks in arrears shall be fined 6 pence. If more than 6 weeks, 1 shilling, and not entitled to any benefits until 14 days after making himself clear on the books. If 8 weeks in arrears, he shall be excluded from the association. And it goes on with all of these unbelievable conditions to be in the union. And it looks like he's gone past 6 weeks about 3 times here. And here I was thinking he was an angel. He was a bit of a naughty boy, I think. And you've got also, this one here is this Australian Coachmakers Employees Federation, New South Wales branch, room 77, Trades Hall, contribution card 1925 to 1926, and his number was 1301. And inside here you have all of these little things that have been pasted in with glue. No staples, this has all been pasted in with glue, and you can see he's paid all his union fees. And there's a couple here, and he's cut things out to make profiles. Sure, that's a profile that he would have had to have made inside one of the carriages. And down here, fellow workers, you are hereby requested to be in attendance at the half-yearly meeting, blah, 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 blah. The business, your arrears or contributions, 4 shillings. They were on his case all the time, the poor guy. These papers, 1926, and it's 2015 now. Unbelievable. That's it for what's in Arthur's toolbox this week. I hope you enjoyed a little trip down memory lane there. This is gold for people that are interested in paperwork. Anyway, the same old thing, all the social media there, and subscribe if you can, that'd be lovely. Helps me keep interested in doing these videos and giving you a bit of a weekly break from super modern life. Step back in time with me. Thanks again. See you next time. Bye.